Today's class will be about the three service moments for the tourist resorts. Okay. So we've got three services: the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner time. And each service has its own different guest flows. The first one is a different kind of challenge, operational challenges. The second one is different kinds of guest expectations, buffet setup, and different staff responsibilities. And as a runner or as a commissary, we need to handle the aesthetics, the beverage management, the table clearing, show cooking support, and communication with the kitchen and the maitre d'. So we will start with the breakfast psychology. So in the breakfast psychology, we've got pre-service, then during the service, then post-service. Okay, so the breakfast psychology is fast, most technical and visible service. And also we've got a different kind of guest expectation. So the first one is it should be calm, ritual, good morning moments because they're coming it's a morning, so they need a greeting. So welcome, good morning. How can I help you? Do you need anything else? You have to be polite and smiley as usual and as always as a runner. And we have to convey a calm, positivity, freshness, and hospitality. So this one is the breakfast flow, which is the schedule or the timetable of the resort. So at 7, there will be first families that arrives, the early birds, the first family that arrives. Then at 7:30 to 8:30 will be peak time, which will be a chaotic time. So you have to be technical and fast too. As I said, it's a dynamic environment. And at 9, there will be a gradual decrease of the guests. So everything will be calm. And at 9:30, the buffet starts closing. Then at 10, the dining room will close and we will start with other services. So from the pre-service checklist, the first one is cold buffet. We have to prepare the yogurt, cereals, fruits, cold cuts, salads, jam, and pastries. Then the hot buffet contains the egg, pancake, omelets, bacon, sausage, and extra. In the beverage ones, we've got the aqua, the water, then juice, coffee, and milk. So this is the pre-service checklist. We have to prepare everything before we start the service. After we make sure this everything is fulfilled, we open our restaurant for the guests. So our service operation would be, we start replacing the trays. Well, we have to be aesthetic and also the beverage station should be managed. Like if there is a drip, if there is a broken glass, we should be clearing everything. And we have to show cooking support, like managing the queue, a smile, saying good morning, like asking the guests what they want. And also like silent cleaning without creating any chaos in the dining room and attention to children so that no accident happens during the service time. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask, or should I move to the next slide? Anyone? Okay, I hope it's clear. I'll just go on with the next slide. So we've seen the pre-service, which is making sure the checklist is fulfilled. Then we have seen the service. Now it's post-service. As you can see in the picture, the waitress or the runners are changing the table closes, cleaning, preparing everything, right? So after breakfast or post-service breakfast, we're gonna disassemble the buffet. We're gonna be cleaning the glass panels. We're gonna do also safe food storage and waste removals. Before that, lunch psychology is like the hottest, most tiring and chaotic service because guests are gonna come from the beach, tired and stuff. So they're gonna be more hungry and less patient. So you have to be also strong, and students should be mentally prepared. Here, the same thing is the lunch flow, the timetable. At 12, there will be a buffet preparation. Then at 12:30, we'll be opening and like welcoming our guests with a smiley face. Then at 12:45 to 13:30, it will be a peak where the queue will be long and you have to manage that. And at 14, it starts decreasing gradually. Then 4:30, we will be closing the buffet. So we will start closing the dining room and start cleaning. So as I said earlier, there's always a pre-service, then during service, then post-service. So in the lunch pre-service checklist, we have to make sure the hot buffet is prepared. Like it contains a pasta, rice, the main or side soups, and hot plates. The cold buffet contains salads, crudites, the appetizer, cheese, and fruit. And the beverage, as I said earlier, the aqua, wine, beer, soft drinks, ice, and etc. So in the dining room, we have to be clear that the tables are clean. We have to check the terrace. We have to make sure there's nothing chaotic happening because we are representing the resort and we are the visible representative. During our lunch service operation, what we do is we have to make sure uh, the aesthetics is being managed, is well kept, and also we have to avoid a long queue and clean the area. We have to show a support to the cooking staffs. And after we finish the lunch service, the post-service work includes the following. We have to dismantle the buffet, start sanitizing the surface, like checking or like cleaning the tables and outdoor chairs. Waste removal, when I said waste removal, it should be a proper one. Like you have to separate each kind of wastes in different side. And we have to also start preparing the dining room for dinner setup. Before I start dinner psychology, if are you like clear with all the concepts or should I continue with the dinner psychology? Like just show me in the chat or like you can turn on your mic and tell me. Anyone? Okay, I hope everything is clear. Okay. So the dinner psychology, this is the most important stressful service where there is a different guest expectation, like a main moment, benchmark for reviews, beauty, organization. It should be aesthetic, clear, and must be perfect. So the dinner flow, as I said, for the lunch and the breakfast flow, we have also a different timetable or schedule. At 17 to 19, we start preparing. At 19:30, we'll start opening the dining room or the resort, the restaurant. Then 19:45 to 20:45 will be the peak where you have to be mentally prepared for every chaotic scene that would happen. And also at 21, gradually the amount of guests will start decreasing. It will start being more calm. And at 21:30 to 22:30, we'll start our post-service, preparing everything for the next morning service. So as I said earlier, for every services, we've got the pre-service, during the service, and post-service. Okay, for dinner pre-service include the hot buffet, cold buffet, dessert, beverage, and preparing the dining room properly. So the hot buffet, like it contains the protected dishes. The earlier I said the pasta, rice, and so on. So the cold buffet, it contains elegant appetizers, decorated plates, fruits, and also the dessert contains dessert, the dolce or the sweet. It contains cake, cream, fruit, and perfect arrangement. And for the beverage, we've got the wine, beer, ice, and other soft drinks for the children. So in the dining room, there should be lights, proper lighting, and proper music. After we finish the dinner service preparation, uh, we have to be we have to maintain the perfect aesthetics. We have to clean the trays, shiny glasses, no splashes around the dining room, and the replenish should be invisible. Like a hot tray should be handled properly, and we have to manage the children because children will be running around the dining room. So we have to be careful, and you have to take a safety prevention methods and prevent accidents. After the dinner post service, what we're gonna do is as we did for the lunch, we're gonna be disassembling or dismantling the buffet. We start recovering the trays, full sanitization, table repositioning for tomorrow's service, and end of the day meeting with the manager of the restaurant. So the restaurant manager would be telling you some comments on what you are doing, or also if your shift is on in the morning, he'll be telling you what you're gonna do in the morning. So there will be a short meeting with the manager. So today's class is short, but I want everyone to actually participate, but I'm not seeing anyone like participating. Is Beatty here? Beatty Zulu.
Yes, I'm here. I'm understanding what you're teaching.
Okay, why are you quiet today? How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. So do you wanna revise or say anything like from what you understood?
Uh, yeah, like I can try. Like I
Okay,
can try
sure.
to say something like from what you are teaching.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So like on the breakfast, like you talked of the breakfast psychology.
Okay.
You alerted us on how we should understand to say this is more like a critical part of the day where people get to wake up. People wake up in different moods, but they
Mm-hmm.
should try to find us all happy or smiley. And
Yes.
we should be fast, and we should make sure that the guests they are welcome. Like even if somebody is having a bad morning, but upon reaching the dining room, they should feel that welcome. Like we should just try to brighten up their day
Okay.
as they have their breakfast.
Okay. So anything you want to say about the dinner psychology?
Yeah, so on the dinner psychology, like you said, this is also the most important scenic rest service because people have had a long day.
Mm-hmm.
They've enjoyed themselves, so now they need to find the meals are set. So most expectations, like it's the main moment where now we need to, like they should find it perfectly set because they want to eat and go rest. It's so inconveniencing. Somebody comes, they find the serving bay is empty, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it would trigger them. Maybe they might end up thinking, no, this place they're not serious. They know what
Mm-hmm.
time we're supposed to have our dinner, and until now they're not safe. So like you said, it's guest expectations, main moments, benchmark for reviews, beauty, and organization. Like the organization must be beautiful because maybe in the morning we had made a mistake during breakfast. Also,
Mm-hmm.
maybe at lunch there was a mistake. So now during dinner, we are supposed to clear up those mistakes, like to say, oh, okay, they are at par.
Okay. Anyone who wants to read out the key takeaways from this presentation?
So breakfast is fast, technical, and visible.
Okay.
Lunch is intense,
Mm-hmm.
physical, and chaotic.
Okay.
Dinner is scenic, benchmark, and stressful.
Okay.
Then success depends on organization, communication, professional behavior.
Okay.
Hospitality is theater, and every service is a performance.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you very much. So, as Sandra said, breakfast is fast, technical, and visible, and the lunchtime is intense, physical, and chaotic. And the dinner, it is a scenic, benchmark, and stressful environment. And success depends on how we organize, how we communicate, and our professional behavior. So, at last, I want to say hospitality is a theater and every service is a performance because last time when we were talking in chapter 2, we already explained why we were representing our hospitality or the resorts as a theater, right?
Maybe I can try. I don't know.
Okay, Ansuman. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, you said is the dining room is just like a theater because you'll be I guess you'll be just looking at your performance, how
Mm-hmm.
you dressed and how you appraise them, and based on
Okay.
that, if they are satisfied, they might even encourage them to come back again. So based on your
Okay.
performance and your professionalism, might
Okay.
motivate them to come back again. So that was simply just like a theater, just like a drama scene.
Okay. Thank you. If everything is clear, I today I'm like thank you for attending my class, but stay tuned because we have another class for the bar classes, and Darius will make sure to present it. Darius, are you here?
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay, I will stop sharing my screen so that you can continue. Thank you everyone for joining.
So today we are going to start from where we stopped last time. Last time we studied the Akachitipi principles. I told you that we have like a serious lecture about it later because we do have a lecture only teaches the HACCP principles. And today we are going to be talking about fast mixing techniques, basic cocktails, as well as resort standard. So what do we mean if we say a good standard or a better result in terms of standard? We mean, firstly, that bartenders as well as baristas have to be having speed, standardization, as well as visual quality. So what we have to make clear, first of all, is that in a resort, the bartender activity or the barista activity is not a competition. Because in a bar, let's say we will be working in the morning with 5 baristas and in the night, like 5 bartenders. So you don't have to compete with any one of them. It's not a competition. We do work together just to serve the clients and give them like better services. So we don't need to make, let's say, complex mixology, like try to mix some stuffs we don't discover there, like you don't have to discover there because everything has the standard. Instead, you need the efficiency, precision. You need to control the speed because in the starting of, let's say, the breakfast, you will get to see few people, and then at 10, you get to see a lot of clients coming. So you have to manage and control the speed. You have to keep the clean techniques, zero waste of materials, zero chaos, and constant smile. So that's what we do. That's what we are waiting from you guys as baristas and bartenders. Like we don't need you to kind of mix a lot of stuffs, trying to discover some stuff that you think that may work because that's what it doesn't work like that. There are like some standards that we are going to study like in this lesson of mixing. There are ways that things do. And if you don't know something, don't try to compete with your colleague who knows it. Kind of cooperate. Like it's a job of working together. So what we have to know is that in this lesson today, we are going to deal with the breakfast. So we are going to talk with the baristas, and then we see which are the types of coffees that are mostly served in Italy, how are they made, and what are the ratios that we do use in while making different types of coffees. And so at the end of this lesson, I hope everyone, while submitting their assignments, will be having a good knowledge of the basic standards coffees that we do make here in Italy. So a coffee has to not be hot. That's one of the rules. I mean, it has to be hot. It has to not be cold. It has to be creamy, really tasty, with no brands. It doesn't have to be watery, and it has to be like visually appealing. We do make coffee between 25 to 1 minute, like 25 seconds to 1 minute, depending on the type of a coffee. And we do have different types of machines. There are a lot of machines depending on the brand, but these two that I have put here, they are like the ones that I've been using like in the resource where I worked. So they all like have two spots. They do have like two groups. The small, like for small resorts. In big resorts, you will see that they even have like 5 spots to make coffees. But mostly there are two for like basic resorts, and the right one, which has a single open, is for a single shots, and this one on the left is double shots. So mostly in small resorts, you will see like they will be having one part which does the single shot coffee and another one which does the double shot coffee. So when we say like single shot, it means that you just when you after grading the coffee, you just tap like one shot and then push it and then put the install it like in the coffee machine, instead 2 shots. So you have to make like two taps from the coffee grinder, and we see like which kind of coffees do we make with 1 shot and which types of coffees do we make with 2 shots. So all coffee machines has to be having like the 1 or 2 groups, coffee making groups. It has to be having 2 steam ones. This long steel stuff, which brings hot water as well as hot air to make milk and to make the milk foam. So a coffee machine has to be having a filter holder, a pressure gauge, and a watery tank, because we don't fetch water like outside. Like this coffee machine have a water tank, so it's installed inside. Sometimes it's installed inside or it is connected with the water pipes, so we don't have to fetch water. So if we need cold water, you just have to press some buttons of cold water and use these long steam ones to bring water or to bring air. We kind of regret on this machine. I will get to send you like some videos of how they work. When I send you the handouts, I even include the links where you can see these parts of the coffee machines and how they work, each one with its specific function and how it does work like in real life. And a coffee station is one of the critical areas. Why? Because we do use it like in the morning, at lunch, and then in the night. Like every time people need coffee, especially like here in Italy, a coffee is something precious that people enjoy taking like in the morning, in the afternoon, as well as in the night. So the coffee place is actually open from the morning to the evening, but we do have many clients in the morning since it's a breakfast time. But it is a critical area because it works like the whole day. It doesn't rest. And so, what are the coffee types? So the coffee types are grouped into categories. So the first category that we are going to be talking about is the only coffees, and then we talk about the second category, which is coffee mixed with milk, and then we see other other drinks that we do prepare at the bar in the morning. So espresso is the most common is the most common coffee, let's say, type that is usually consumed mostly in Italy. And from this screen, you can see like it is this small, it is served in a small cup. So espresso is served in small cup and it's usually made with 1 shot. So I've showed you like the 1 shot, the 1 shot making a pot and 2 shot. So espresso is usually made with 1 shot and it's served like in this small cup. And we do have a type called ristretto. Ristretto is 1/3 of espresso coffee. If we can say like simply, it's a small espresso. So when a client say, I want ristretto, they mean like they want like a small espresso. It's usually like a half espresso. Like espresso, even though it's served like in this small cup, it's not full. So it's like the half of the small cup. But when someone wants a ristretto, it's a half of the espresso. And it's also 1 shot. So it is used with a one shot cup. And then you have to pressure it and then put it in a coffee making machine and then open water, make it shot. And we do have doppio espresso, which doppio in Italian means double, so it's double espresso. And people who are not Italian, they do call it like double espresso. Instead, here in Italy, it's called doppio espresso. Doppio espresso is made with 2 shots, so the other big cup, and it is served also in a big cup, but it is, even though it's served in a big cup, we don't feel like the big cup. It's the it is while filling it, we do make it like in a half of this big cup. So it's called doppio espresso. It's actually, if you try to put it in mathematics, it's double espresso. Like we do make it with double shot and it is served in a bigger cup. We do have espresso lungo. Espresso lungo, some people serve it only like only espresso and hot water apart. But in a lot of places that I've visited, they do combine it. So they use like the small espresso cup, and then it's espresso, and then you let it kind of be filled, not at the top, but at the extent you can see like so it is not like the normal espresso, it is viscous. So you can pour it so easily. Instead, espresso lungo, you can easily put it because it has some water inside. So if you want, you can make it like on a coffee machine. You just have to make espresso lungo. Lungo means like a long one. So make espresso and let it continue until maybe until to fill the cup. Or if you want, you can just make espresso apart and put hot milk apart for a client to mix for themselves. We do have Americano. Americano is espresso lungo served in a big coffee. So we do we do take like a big cup coffee and then we put espresso, and then after espresso we let it go, like we let water calm down. So we can say like it's espresso lungo but served in a big cup, simply like that. And so I will give you the videos to just see how they even appear differently, because if we say espresso, it is viscous, and if we say espresso lungo, it has some water. If we say Americano, it's lungo but with much water. And then we have the one called like filter coffee. This filter coffee is brewed by hand. A lot of places don't make it, like it is this last one, but it is brewed by hand, and we can say that it's a traditional coffee. So we don't make it with coffee machines. Instead, we do have other part of espresso with milk or coffee with milk. This part is actually like burgers, because cappuccino is the most famous type of coffee with milk that a lot of people like, but especially girls. So we do have 6 types of, let's say, famous types here in Italy. The first one is called espresso macchiato. Espresso macchiato is espresso with hot milk foam. So we don't put hot milk inside it. So it is served in espresso cup, a small cup. And then after making espresso, you just have to put the milk foam at the top on a ratio of 1 to 2. So like one coffee espresso, one shot of coffee, and two ratio, because it's a ratio, it's like twice the foam of the coffee. I don't know if you get it, but if I send you the videos, you will get to see it. So it is this one at the left side, it's written macchiato. So if you see, it's served like in a small cup, and then after putting coffee, you just put the milk foam inside, not milk, only milk foam, the skim. So we do have cortado, which is macchiato but served in a glass, not in a cup. And it has a ratio of 1 to 4, which means like here we do add a little bit of milk because it's a ratio of 1 to 4, but then we do put a lot of skim. So we do have a flat white. A flat white is a big cortado. It's a big cartado and it's served like in a bigger glass. We do have a cappuccino. Cappuccino is made of one single shot coffee. So espresso, after espresso, you add milk and the foam. So a lot of people like do some designs, but if you designs comes with experience, that's what I can say. And if you are at the bar, since it's not a place of competition, you don't have to compete with anyone. Like trying to make your the coffee that you made so good, blah, blah, blah. Like it will come by experience, like to make designs. But without designs, it can also be served. So we do have cafe latte on a ratio of 1 to 14, but with cafe latte, we don't put cum, like we don't put the milk foam. It's only espresso with milk. And we do have the latte macchiato, which is this picture on the left side with a big cup. So we do serve it in a big glass and we put a lot of milk inside. And after putting a lot of milk, we pour later an espresso just at the top, so as the coffee to float at the top of the milk. And beside of all the types of coffees, we do serve the hot chocolate as well as hot milk. But all these type of coffees, they do work with different types of milk. So the most common milk dishes served like in Italy, we do have the normal latte, which is normal milk. We have latte di riso, which is from rice. We do have acadi, which doesn't have brucellol, and then we do have latte di mandorla. So these are different types of milk that we do serve at the bar, and you can actually make all these type of coffees with milk with these different types of milk. So yes, Sumana Jobe, I can see that you have a question.
Yeah, I want to ask something.
Yes,
You said we have two types of espresso, that's single espresso and double espresso.
yes,
So
please.
when you're making the coffee with milk, which one do you use?
So when you're making a cafe latte, you do use single shot, like espresso normale. Like if you want to make cafe latte, you use espresso, not doppio espresso. You use espresso with milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So why do we use actually like most of these coffees done with milk? We do use single shot. Why? Because like people who ask for coffee and milk, they don't need like a lot of coffee. They need that flavor of coffee and milk. Like if we put a lot of coffee inside, we have like a coffee flavor. And people want that the mixture. So we do put like espresso because espresso is even heavy. But since they want like light things, that's why they ask like for to add milk. So we do make it like all of this, we do make it with a single espresso. All of them. Espresso macchiato, cartado, flat white, cappuccino, cafe latte, and latte macchiato. We do use single espresso.
Okay, thank
Yeah, you're welcome. And so later I will play you one of the video to show you how we do make all of these kind of coffees for those people who were kind of confused. But one of the things that we have to put in mind is that by using latte or milk, it has to be from the store. So when you use cold milk, it is easier to make a foam. It is even easier to make a foam to use to cappuccino better than using hot milk, because I don't know if some of you have tried to use like hot milk making cappuccino. It doesn't work because it's already hot. So milk has to be always in the fridge. If you're not using milk, so keep it in the fridge. Another thing, milk jug have to be washed like every time. So after making some milk, pour the rest of the milk and clean the dish and leave it make it dry. So leave it dry. Never reuse the overleft milk because a lot of people try to make this mistake, but it doesn't actually come well. So if you're making a coffee with hot milk, it doesn't really come well. Never reuse the old form because it's cold, and steam one cleaned after every use. So after using the steam one, make sure to clean it because if you don't clean it, it will dry. So one of the techniques that we do use to make like cups dry so fast, as well as make basically cups. I don't know if you can see that at the top of these coffee machines there is a place where you can place like the cups. One of the rules, don't put like anything like a cloth below like these glasses because there is hot air coming from this machine to make these cups dry. So we don't have to clean like all the cups. After washing the cups, place them like at the bottom, at the top of this machine. For 2 minutes, they will be dry. So that's the quickest way we do use to make cups dry so fast. And never serve like a coffee in a wet cup. Never. Like first try them and then serve them later. So here you can see like we do have some pictures showing espresso and how, like if we serve espresso, we don't, as I told you, we don't fill the cup. So it's almost like in the half of the cup. Ristretto, it is a half of the espresso. Doppio espresso is the espresso that you almost let it fill the cup. And macchiato is espresso with the foam of the milk, not milk, only the foam of the milk. So from these pictures, I think it's really visible. And then again on this picture, you can see that cafe, like this is a dissection of the cup. So when we do serve the espresso, it's this size in a cup. When you say cafe macchiato, it's half of the espresso with the skim of the milk. When you say espresso lungo, it's espresso, but we let it go. When you say cappuccino, it's coffee, espresso coffee, milk, as well as the skim. When you say cafe macchiato, here I think it's a wrong one because cafe macchiato, it is this one. And cafe latte, it's coffee and only milk without skim. So as I told you, the coffee should be hot, should be creamy, not burnt, not watery, and visually appealing, mostly done between 25 to 30 seconds. That's a basic coffee ratio. Like basic coffee time to basic time to make a normal coffee. Instead, when you want to make cappuccino, it may take like from 35 to 50 seconds. And if you are trying to make a latte macchiato, the one that I showed you, it may even take 1 minute. So, but by experience, you get to learn how to make it fast. And so here is the assignment. I will send you like through the email, and then make sure to submit it on time.